Have you ever wished your image transfers to Polymer Clay didn't look just flat, but actually came to life? In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a realistic 3D water effect on faux ceramic polymer clay using image transfer techniques. And we are going to use images and also tiny dimensional details to make it look like real water droplets.
Hi, I'm Mihaela from Learn Polymer Clay, and let's dive in.
I'm working with white polymer clay that I have previously conditioned, and I've also prepared an image that I printed on a laser printer. And this is a very beautiful image, the great wave. And you'll find the link to the site where you can download this image and use it in your image transfers to Polymer Clay. My white Polymer Clay is passed on the setting number 6. And then I've just applied a generous amount of rubbing alcohol. And this is the secret for beautiful and easy image transfers to Polymer Clay. Then I put the image facing downwards on top of the Polymer Clay. And at first, I'm going to tap on the image. And if you notice that the image slides a little bit because there is still a little bit of rubbing alcohol on top of the clay, you'll have to use the fingers of your left hand to keep the image in place. And then you'll notice that the rubbing alcohol will evaporate. And then you can start to burnish the image into the polymer clay. And I'm going to do this for about 1 minute. And I'm just going to count to 60 in my head. And then you can lift the corner of the image and then check if the image has transferred. If not, you might want to burnish the image more for another minute. But normally, if you applied a lot of rubbing alcohol and if you took the time to burnish the image for 1 minute, the image should have transferred to polymer clay. And then while burnishing the image, while rubbing the image into the polymer clay, you'll see that paper fibers are starting to come off. And sometimes I manage to take off larger pieces of the paper. And then I'm just going to use a little bit more liquid. I've used rubbing alcohol because I had it handy, but you can use water for this step of the project. And I'm going to continue to gently remove the paper fibers. And sometimes I get lucky and I manage to take off larger chunks of paper. And I've noticed that when I've used a quite generous amount of rubbing alcohol, I get to easily take out larger pieces of paper. And then you'll just have to use more liquid, more water to remove all the paper fibers. And I've tested lots of image transfer techniques and media, and I consider that the rubbing alcohol technique gets you the best, vivid, colorful image transfers to polymer clay. Then in order to make the back of the pendant, I've put some translucent clay through the pasta machine, and I've put it. I put the translucent clay on top of a texture plate. And my translucent clay was passed on the setting number 6 of my Atlas pasta machine, and then I put them both to the pasta machine initially on the largest setting, and then on the setting number 1. Then I flipped the textured clay, and I put the clay with the image transfer on top. And I wanted to use translucent clay for the back because I wanted to have an idea on because I like to experiment with the ideas and techniques, and I wanted to see the look of the pendant with the translucent clay. Would I do this again? I don't know. It looks interesting, but you could use white clay as well for the back. And then I've used a large round cutter to cut out the shape for my pendant. And of course, you'll have to use your hands, your fingers, or your tools to smooth off the edges for a professional look and feel of the pendant. And you'll notice that the image on the finished pendant is reversed compared to the initial image that I've used for the image transfer. And for this kind of image, I don't care if the wave is facing to the right or to the left. In case you want to look the finish transfer exactly like the image that you used, you will have to take the time and flip this image. And I do this in Canva. I import the images that I want to transfer to Polymer Clay using laser printer. As I said, I import them in Canva, and some of them I'm going to use the flip image option in Canva and flip them. But for this image, I didn't do that. I like the finished pendant as it is. But this is something you should definitely bear in mind when using transfer to beautifully embellish your polymer clay pieces. And then I wanted this pendant to be slightly curved, so I baked it on domed baking metal base. And I've wrapped this metal base in aluminum foil because I don't want to have a glass-like effect on the back of the pieces if I put them directly on the metal base. And I'm gently pressing the pendant to um, take the curved shape that I want. And then you'll just have to bake the pendant for 45 minutes in the preheated oven. Normally, I bake my pieces on parchment paper, and also I tent them with aluminum disposable pans or just aluminum foil to protect them from direct heat, especially when I'm working with white polymer clay or light colors of polymer clay. And then because I wanted to add more interest to the image transfer, I decided to use some Ranger medium and wow glitter embossing powder. And initially, I wanted to put the embossing powder only on the white, bluish parts of the wave, the top part of the waves. And so I just used the brush and I applied the medium to the embossing medium to those areas, and then I applied embossing glitter on top, and of course I put a piece of paper underneath, so then I could collect the excess glitter embossing powder and put it back in the jar. And then I used my heat gun to heat set the embossing powder. And then I decided that I wanted to use resin to give this piece a beautiful, shiny finish. But when I applied resin, in fact, I kind of spread the glitter from the embossing glitter all over the piece. So for the next step of the project, I've prepared some UV resin. I've also prepared a brush and a droplet. And I'm going to use the droplet and I've also prepared a resin mat and I'm going to use the droplet and some UV resin and I'm going to make tiny dots of resin and I'm going to make smaller dots, larger dots, and I'm making plenty of them because I don't know how many I want to use in the finished piece. So it's better to have some extra dots that I could use for other projects as well. And then you can use a UV lamp and cure these for 4 5 minutes. But I decided to coat the pendant with a thin layer of UV resin and then cure the pieces with the UV lamp. So if you don't want to spread the glitter all over the piece, you have two possibilities in case you want to use this kind of embossing glitter, or you could skip this part altogether. But if you do want to use embossing glitter, you could apply resin using a brush, but only in the areas where you did not apply embossing glitter. So you could go around these uh, areas decorated with the embossing glitter, and you'll notice that I applied resin on top of these areas decorated with the embossing glitter, and I ended up with glitter all over the piece. But I like this idea because when you look at the pendant in the light, you have the impression that you have um, that there are tiny droplets shining in the light. And there is a second option. Once we cure the the tiny resin droplets, you are going to use a little bit of resin to attach them to the cured um, pendant with the cured resin on top, and you can apply a little bit of embossing glitter on the back of these resin drops. And then you'll just have to use your UV lamp and cure the pieces for the recommended time by your UV resin manufacturer. I cured my pieces for 6 minutes and I'm using a fast curing UV lamp and I cured them for 6 minutes to be on the safe side. And then you can use tweezers or you can use um, a silicone tool and pick up the pieces. Of course, when working with resin, it is recommended to use gloves, to use even protective glasses if you have some, to work in well ventilated areas, and use rubbing alcohol to clean your tools. Then I applied a little bit of resin in the areas where I want to attach the resin um, dots that look like water droplets in the finished piece. And I decided to use the same brush that I've used to apply resin to pick up the resin 3D elements and place them on the piece where I've previously applied some UV resin. And I personally like this faux water effect, and I think this works great, especially for this wave themed pendant. And I've also tried picking up the tiny resin round pieces, the tiny faux water droplets with a silicone tool. So you could use a silicone tool and pick up those 3D elements like you would do with rhinestones. And I decided to use these resin 3D embellishments only on the top part of the waves, and I'm trying not to apply too many. I don't want to do this too much. And I really love how this piece the finished piece looks from the front and from the sides as well, with the 3D faux water resin embellishments on top. And I think this is a great technique. And of course, you can use this with other image transfers as well. And I'm trying not to add too many 3D embellishments. And then you just have to cure the resin again for 5 minutes using a UV lamp. And this is the finished pendant. And I really like the embossed look of this image transfer pendant. You'll have to check the margins of the piece and see if you need to sand your piece for a professional look. And I'm going to use a nail file and a little bit of water to sand those areas that need some sanding. And in order to turn this pendant into a piece that you can wear or sell, why not? I am going to use a gold color bail that I'm going to attach using a strong jewelry glue, because you'll have to keep in mind that attaching metal components to polymer clay pieces might be tricky, but when you are using a very strong jewelry um, glue, you can do this. And so I applied a little bit of jewelry glue, and then I've kept the bail in place for 30 seconds to make sure that I have a very good adhesion. And then you can put this on a chain or on a cord and you can use it. And so this is the finished pendant. And as always, I hope that you like this polymer clay inspiration. And I encourage you to check out my other tutorials and stay tuned for more inspiration for your work with polymer clay. And if you liked this idea, here's what to watch next.